Welcome to KS Fantasy Channel. Fantasy Fiction. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the lovely viewers for joining me on this channel. Please don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and enable notifications to support the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss any new videos and new content. If you would like to support the channel, you can do so by sending super chats and super stickers. If you are watching a backlogged video, you can also send super thanks to support the channel's development. To those who have already supported, I would like to express my deepest gratitude. And without further ado, let's enjoy the story for today. Chapter 9. The Gem of Power, Memories of the Past. Callisto and Zig stared in awe at the open door, bathed in the warm glow emanating from within the castle. They stepped out of the dark cave into the radiant light, their hearts filled with relief and excitement. Incredible, Zig, Callisto exclaimed, their voice echoing through the chamber. We did it. They had overcome countless challenges, faced monstrous creatures, solved intricate puzzles, and evaded deadly traps. Yet, through courage, intelligence, and their unbreakable bond, they had triumphed. Suddenly, Zig spotted an elderly man standing nearby. His face bore the marks of time, but his eyes still sparkled with wisdom. Well done, you two, the old man smiled. Callisto and Zig returned the smile, their clothes tattered and their bodies covered in dirt. Thank you, sir. It was a difficult trial, but we managed to overcome it together, Callisto said, glancing at Zig. Yes, we've learned a lot from this adventure, Zig added. The old man at the cave entrance watched them with pride. I'm glad you passed this test, he said. You have shown me great courage, wit, and true friendship. Many brave souls have come to this castle and failed to reach this point. He paused, a knowing glint in his eyes. I've waited thousands of years for this moment. It's as the prophecy foretold. When the blue star shatters and hope dwindles, the last light extinguished, the fire's leader shall be found. Callisto and Zig exchanged puzzled looks. They didn't understand the meaning of these words. What do you mean? What prophecy? Callisto asked. The old man chuckled, offering no further explanation. Callisto and Zig let the cryptic words slide, their minds focused on their immediate goal. The gem of power I hold is the key to bringing light back into the world, the old man continued. Callisto's thoughts turned to Akathor's daughter and the need to heal her. The old man smiled warmly. The gem of power is already here, he said. Abruptly, a blinding green light enveloped him. His form began to transform before their eyes. His tattered clothes turned into an emerald green elven robe adorned with gold thread. His once long, tangled hair transformed into a shimmering silver cascade. His cloudy white eyes changed to a radiant gold, filled with power and compassion. Callisto and Zig had never seen anything like it. Who are you? Callisto stammered, barely believing their eyes. Are you the space elf who guards this castle? The old man, now a magnificent elf, smiled. The gem of power is with me, he said, slowly opening his hand to reveal a necklace adorned with a pulsating blue gem. He raised his hand, revealing the mesmerizing blue gem that pulsed with immense energy. Callisto and Zig gazed in awe, sensing the overwhelming power emanating from it. The gem of power was shaped like a teardrop, its soft blue hue emitting a radiant glow. It was suspended from a simple yet elegant gold chain, adorned with intricate patterns. Ancient symbols were inscribed on the back, as if they held a cryptic warning. Callisto and Zig stood transfixed, their eyes fixed on the luminous gem held by the space elf. The light wasn't merely an aesthetic display. It was imbued with power, radiating from within the gem as if it possessed a soul. It's beautiful, Callisto breathed. It was more than just an ordinary jewel, impossible to quantify with a price tag. Its value was immeasurable, far surpassing any treasure or exotic artifact from distant galaxies. I've never seen anything like it, Callisto murmured, her eyes wide with wonder. Yes, Zig agreed. It's almost as if it's alive. The space elf smiled. You're right. It's more than just a jewel. It's the gem of power. Its light will dispel darkness and bring peace back to the universe. Callisto and Zig exchanged excited glances. They could truly feel the gem's immense power. A profound sense of responsibility washed over them. You must guard this gem carefully, the space elf warned. Its power has both light and dark sides. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could bring catastrophe to the universe. The gem of power is not just an ordinary object. It is imbued with immense power, granting its wielder control over nature and magic. In times of peril, the gem's light will repel evil and protect its bearer, providing comfort and courage. Beyond its control over nature, magic, and protective abilities, the gem of power also possesses healing powers. If its bearer is injured, the gem's light will mend wounds, staunch bleeding, and accelerate the healing process. Wow! Callisto exclaimed. The gem of power is truly universal. It's incredible. Callisto stood motionless, gazing at the gem before him. It was so beautiful, so powerful, and so awe-inspiring. Thank you, Callisto said. We will use its power to protect the weak and the vulnerable and wield it for the greater good. Zig, too, felt the gem's immense power. Yes, he affirmed. We won't let you down. The elegant elf handed the gem of power to Callisto, who accepted it with reverence and pride. In that moment, their destiny was sealed. Suddenly, Callisto felt a surge of energy from the gem of power. Images he had never seen before began to appear before him. They were faint but clear enough for him to understand what he was seeing. Where am I? He murmured, lost in thought. Callisto looked around. He was in a vast expanse of space, surrounded by countless stars and planets. Galaxies, nebulas, and celestial bodies floated past him. It's so beautiful, he exclaimed. Where am I? Am I dead? I remember being in the castle with Zig, on a mission to bring the gem to heal the spaceship mechanic's daughter. He tried to look around. His hands were translucent and white. He wiggled his fingers and waved his arms, floating weightlessly in the cosmic expanse. He felt as if he were nothing more than a wisp of air, adrift among the countless stars. He saw a faint white image, something moving past him too quickly to make out. Then, the image paused, revealing a scene. Where is this? When did this happen? Why don't I recognize it? Callisto focused on the scene. It was a planet, a small town, and a village. The houses were made of natural wood with thatched roofs and adorned with wildflowers. The atmosphere was peaceful and serene, with people living simple lives in harmony with nature, surrounded by vast valleys and endless grasslands. He smiled, his eyes welling up with tears. I miss this so much. It's just like the planet I left behind. Memories flooded back. It's just like serenity. A voice echoed softly, catch me. He saw a group of children playing tag. A young boy was running around a house. Carl, it's time for dinner. Coming, Mom. The voice of a mother called out to her young son who was playing happily. Here I am. The door creaked open as the boy entered the house. The evening sun shone through the window, filtering through white curtains and casting a warm glow on the polished wooden floor. The house was filled with a cozy atmosphere. His mother was busy preparing dinner, a hearty soup simmering on the fireplace. The delicious aroma of food filled the house. His father sat in a carved wooden chair, his slender fingers strumming a guitar. A beautiful melody filled the room, a soothing lullaby. Snap, snap, snap. A soft blue light flickered at the tips of the young boy's fingers as he waited for his parents to join him for dinner. Now, Carl. His mother scolded. I've told you time and time again not to let anyone see your powers. You're special, and you need to be careful. She scolded him as tiny bolts of blue lightning danced between his fingers on the dinner table. Yes, Mom, he replied, his head bowed in sadness. He wished his exciting power would be met with praise instead of reprimands. He picked up his spoon, scooped up a small piece of potato, and blew on the warm steam before taking a slow bite. He avoided his mother's gaze, feeling a lump in his throat. Now, Helen, his father interjected. Carl didn't mean any harm. He's just a boy having fun. Don't be so hard on him. His father turned to his young son. Carl, promise me something. His father extended his pinky finger, and the boy, feeling dejected about his powers, looked down at the table. You won't show your powers to anyone, his father said, unless you can use them to help someone in need. His father's large hand gently ruffled the boy's hair. The image of a loving family filled the room. The vision in Callisto's mind shifted rapidly. The image of young Carl began to transform into a young man. Whose memory is this? Callisto wondered. Is this King Carl? And why can I feel and perceive this? What is happening? Callisto continued to drift through the cosmic expanse. The peaceful village scene was replaced by a chaotic battlefield that stretched across the cosmos, engulfing planets and stars. The sky was filled with flashes of light as massive fleets of spaceships engaged in a fierce battle. He heard explosions, the roar of machine guns, and the clash of powerful magic. The scene was terrifying. Injured soldiers lay scattered across the decks of spaceships. Some trembled in fear and pain, their bodies scarred from battle. They were under attack by an alien army led by a monstrous space demon named Nova. The injured soldiers struggled to their feet. Snipers fired from the windows. The scene was one of utter chaos. Massive fleets of spaceships from both sides clashed fiercely. Laser beams crisscrossed the battlefield, and exploding ships rained debris down upon the planets below. Explosions roared, machine guns chattered incessantly, and powerful magic clashed, creating blinding flashes amidst the chaos. Two massive space fleets engaged in a ferocious battle, like something out of a science fiction movie. Each spaceship was like a colossal beast, firing laser beams with wild abandon. The clang of metal echoed through the void as ships exploded into fiery balls, their debris scattering across the cosmos. Callisto was terrified. He had never imagined witnessing such a cataclysmic event. "What is this?" he murmured, awestruck by the unfolding scene. It felt so real, so visceral. Was this a true account, or was it merely a figment of his imagination? As he was overwhelmed by the influx of images, a blinding blue light erupted from one of the fleets. A figure emerged, a warrior leading the celestial army. "I won't let you have what you desire, Nova," he declared. "You will not claim these last 3 gems." The figure, clad in shimmering silver armor, stood on a colossal rock on a massive planet. The ground was littered with the bodies of fallen warriors and demons. Above, the sky was ablaze with laser fire and swirling space debris. He wielded a radiant blue sword as he faced the fearsome space demon, Nova. The demon was enormous, its body covered in black scales, its head adorned with sharp horns, and its long tail flickered menacingly. Its crimson eyes glared at the warrior with a burning hatred, its intent to annihilate everything in its path. "If you think you can stop me, then try, celestial deity, Aurora." Nova roared. "Nothing can stop me. Can you stop this catastrophe? The last 3 gems and the entire universe will be mine." The space demon bellowed, unleashing a wave of dark energy that enveloped the cosmos. Callisto felt the immense power emanating from the demon. Who is he? Callisto wondered. And who is this celestial warrior, Aurora? Why is he fighting this seemingly invincible space demon? Callisto tried to piece together the fragments of King Carl's memories. But his mind was clouded with confusion. Suddenly, the space demon lunged at the warrior, who raised his sword to defend himself. The clash echoed throughout the cosmos. The warrior fought with grace and speed, his blade flashing like lightning. He struck the demon with ferocious blows. The demon seemed impervious to harm, easily absorbing the attacks with its dark aura. The colossal, obsidian black space demon, Nova, launched another ferocious assault. The valiant warrior, Aurora, raised his silver blade to defend himself. The clash of metal echoed throughout the cosmos. He fought with lightning-fast speed, his blue blade sparking with golden energy. The gem of lightning, infused into his blade, unleashed bolts of blue energy. The gem of fire, embedded in his arm, blazed with intense heat, scorching the demon before him. The gem of water created a swirling white vortex, a dimensional portal that sucked in the dark energy and the demonic minions, banishing them to another dimension. His movements were graceful, swift, and powerful. His blade clashed against the space demon Nova relentlessly. But it seemed the demon was immortal. It countered every attack with its own gems, healing its wounds instantly. No matter how much damage Aurora inflicted, the demon would rise again, its roars echoing through the cosmos. "Ha, ha, ha," Nova taunted. "Your 3 gems are nothing compared to my immense power, Aurora." Aurora began to weaken, sweat dripping down his face. He was on the verge of collapse, but he refused to give up. Gathering all his remaining strength, he closed his eyes and roared in defiance. "You will never have what you desire, Nova," he cried. "You vile demon." Suddenly, a golden light appeared, revealing a woman cradling a baby boy. The woman was chained, a prisoner of war. "Brother Aurora," A deep voice echoed. A woman held a young boy with snow-white hair, his tiny form radiating a golden glow. Her eyes were filled with sorrow and fear. "You, Nova, you vile demon!" Aurora roared, his gaze filled with hatred. "You've gone too far," he cried, his voice trembling. "You've taken my wife and son." Aurora turned to his beloved wife, Eldoria. "Don't worry, Eldoria, our son will be safe," Aurora assured her, his voice steady despite his fear for his family's safety. "I will protect you and our son." Suddenly, a giant space demon appeared behind Eldoria, wielding a red lightning spear. Its blood-red eyes glared at Aurora with a smug expression. "Ha, ha, ha," it laughed, its voice echoing throughout the cosmos. "Give up, Aurora, for the sake of your wife and son." Nova sneered, his voice dripping with contempt. Aurora gritted his teeth. He knew Nova was one of the most ruthless warlords in the universe. He had conquered countless worlds, pillaging and enslaving civilizations, and wielded ancient cosmic magic to subjugate the celestial beings who guarded the gems. "I won't let you harm my family," Aurora roared. Amidst the blinding golden light, the valiant warrior stood upon an ancient stone pedestal. In his hands were the gems of fire, water, and lightning. Their radiance illuminated the surroundings, and their immense power surged through him. "By the power of the gems of fire, water, and lightning," he declared in a powerful voice, "I command you, my companions, my spirit, my soul, to unite as one within my being." A blinding white light erupted, transforming his body. His eyes glowed with power as he became one with the gems. "Take care of my son," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Tears streamed down his face as he made the ultimate sacrifice to protect his family and the universe. "Aurora, my son must survive." His beloved wife, Eldoria, wept as she held their sleeping son. Her face was etched with sorrow and fear. "No, brother," she cried out. "Don't use the forbidden power of the gems." "Callisto, Callisto," Zig's voice echoed in his ears, jolting him from his trance. His strong arm shook Callisto, who blinked groggily. "Zig," he asked, his voice hoarse from sleep. "Where am I?" "In the castle," Zig replied. Concern etched on his face. "What's wrong?" "You were standing there, staring into space. I thought I'd wake you up." Callisto tried to recall what had happened, but his memories were hazy and fragmented. He remembered doing something, but couldn't quite place it. "What happened?" "I think I saw a kid with lightning powers," he murmured. "And a huge war. It was such a strange dream." He paused, massaging his temples as if trying to piece together the puzzle. I don't know," he finally admitted. "I can't remember anything." Zig looked at him skeptically. "Are you sure you're all right?" Callisto nodded. "I think I was just tired." He stood up, feeling a little dizzy. "I must have dozed off without realizing it." "Well, that's good," Zig said with a relieved sigh. Callisto and Zig bowed to the space elf once more, grateful for his guidance and blessings. Callisto held the gem of power, feeling its immense energy. He remembered the space elf's words. "Remember, Callisto, great power comes with great responsibility. Use this power wisely and with compassion." Callisto nodded. "I won't let you down," he promised. Callisto was curious about the mysterious space elf. He didn't know his name or where he came from. "What is your name, sir?" he asked. The space elf smiled warmly. "My name is Uriel," he replied. Callisto repeated the name slowly, trying to commit it to memory. He sensed a great power and mystery about this elf. "Yes," Uriel smiled. "I am the guardian of this castle, and I have been waiting for your arrival for millennia, young one. You were the one foretold in the prophecy." Callisto's curiosity was piqued. "What prophecy?" he asked eagerly. Uriel smiled enigmatically. "It's not time for you to know. You will discover the answers in due time. Do not lose faith or determination." Callisto tucked the gem of power into his pocket. The space elf waved goodbye. "Go in peace and good fortune," he said. "Callisto, the young man destined to change the fate of the universe. He is the chosen one, destined to wield the power of the gems and protect the people, bringing light back to the cosmos. But he may not know that this path is not paved with roses. Many obstacles lie ahead. I hope you can endure the challenges that are to come, Callisto." The space elf's form began to fade, leaving behind only a faint glow. Callisto and Zig turned and walked away, pondering the elf's mysterious words and prophecies. Callisto and Zig left the enigmatic castle behind and boarded their spaceship, heading back to Akathor's spaceship repair shop. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and enable notifications to stay updated on the next episode, and to support the KS Fantasy channel. For this video, I would like to thank all the lovely viewers for watching and listening.